All right. All right, well, welcome everybody. This is our performance seminar for 6:30. We have three pianists here with us, and I would like to open up the floor to Miss Cora. So, Cora, when you're ready, go ahead and introduce yourself and what you're going to play for us.
Hi, my name is Cora, and I'm going to play Prelude number 8 by Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach, not memorized.
All right. Bravo, Miss Cora. How was that performance for you?
Um, I say that I got most of the notes right. I made like one mistake. I think it was probably because I was a bit nervous,
Mm.
but I've been working on my time and think that's pretty good. Maybe I could add pedals in this piece or add a little bit of dynamics. That's what I think I could do.
Nice. Yeah, I think I agree with everything that you're saying. I think you pretty much got the notes down, you've got the rhythm, and so now you can start thinking about how to create more direction and melody with this, because it has this steady left hand the whole time, there's a danger that it just sounds like it's dragging from one beat to the next. I'm not saying that's what's happening to your playing, but it's something that you need to look out for. And when you're playing this right hand melody, or you're playing a connecting melody in the left hand, think about how it's moving the phrase forward to the next chord. Think about, and then what? And then what? Then that happened, really? And then this. And then, oh no. There's a narrative going on. Yeah. And so if you're always seeking for something new, just look at, see how the harmonies develop, right? From here, and then to E flat major. It's a big change, right? From here, it's piano, and then get out of here. What is that? It's like the sun all of a sudden comes out. It's been grey the whole day, and then have you seen those clouds? And then there's like a stream of sunlight just pokes through the clouds.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? I think you can experiment with that, with this here. Yeah, da 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 da. You can also experiment with tempo, couldn't you? There are certain places that you can push it a little bit and then pull it back. You can do that now because you're so solid with the beat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're right. If you want to take this piece to the next level, start thinking about adding a touch of pedal, but I think even more than that, you want the sense that we're moving from scene to scene. How do you take us there? Yeah. I think the best person to explain this will be your own ears. So you got to listen back to your own recording of this.
Yeah.
All right, just listen back and then ask yourself that question, like, hey, when I play, do I have a sense of story? Is there storylines in my playing? When the harmonies change, do I arrive there with a sense of joy or a sense of curiosity? Or am I just like, ta-da, more black notes?
Yeah.
And yeah, what are your thoughts on my reflection? Does it make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. You just experiment with it now. I think that'll be it. And then I think also once you start getting into the memory as well, right, that's really going to help. From a rhythmic standpoint, this here just moved. It was a little bit too fast. 1 and 2 and 3 and dum duggy dum dum. Right. Have the eighth note. Have the eighth note pulse in your body there. Even though you see a lot of 16th notes here in the dotted chord notes, don't rush through it. Yeah. Once again, listen back to the recording, and so you'll see what I mean.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. Sophia, did you have any thoughts for Cora on her performance?
No.
No. What do you feel the character of this piece is?
Just kind of like slow and bold.
Slow and bold. Yeah. Okay, I like that. What about you, Elena? What character do you get from this piece? Miss Elena?
Yeah, same. I'm thinking like slow and bold and a little bit sad.
Ooh, I like that. Slow and bold,
Yeah.
and sad. What about you, Cora? What character comes to mind? Have you thought about it?
Yeah, I'm saying pretty much the same, slow, bold, sad, but it sort of twists a little bit. Like sometimes it gets happy, sometimes it gets sad.
Right.
Sort of like how like sometimes on like a spring day, there's clouds in the morning, but then sun comes, but then the clouds go back.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So there's hints of warmth, and then all of a sudden, yeah, right, you're like, oh, it's gonna be a good day in the afternoon. No, it's not. It's just gonna be a little bit cold again, a little bit miserable. So I think you can dig a little deeper now to start bringing out some of these moods and just being more assertive with what you believe. Then put it onto the piano. Yeah, by using a little bit more weight and recording yourself. I think that'd be the best thing to do. Okay.
Okay.
Excellent. This is cool. Now you're really bringing the piece to life. Well done.
Thank you.
Seems like Bach really liked drama, eh? Like you can kind of get clues of the kind of topics or moods that a composer liked, or what they felt compelled to write about by looking at their music. Like, man, this is over 200 years old, but you can still see there's a sense of drama here in this piece. All right, cool. Well, let's keep on charging forward. Thank you for that, Miss Cora. All right, Miss Elena, when you're ready, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and your piece?
Okay, hi, my name is Elena, and I'm playing Desire.
Well done, Miss Elena. How's that?
It was a little bit rough in some places, like when I looked at the notes and I was like, wait, where am I? I can't.
It was good in the beginning, though. It's pretty solid in the beginning. It was just these couple of measures toward the end.
Yeah,
And is it because you just stopped thinking or you were overthinking? Because the pattern is pretty much the same, isn't it?
I think I was overthinking. It was just like when the notes changed a little bit, I was like, wait.
Yeah. You got to trust your memory, right? Are you playing off book or are you using the music or
I'm just
a
like
little bit of both?
I'm just using yeah, a little bit of both, I guess.
Okay, right. I reckon over the next week when you practice, start committing this more to your memory.
Yeah.
I believe you probably have it more in the memory than you think. It'd be interesting for you to experiment, right? To actually play this and to see how much you can play off book. Um, because the first part was just flowing. It was great. Yeah. The only technical standpoint is measure 16 and 17. You just rushed a little bit, right? 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Hmm.
So if you're unaware, just go over that. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go around the room. Sophia, what are your thoughts for Elena? And do you have any helpful suggestions for her as she practices?
Maybe just practice in a few sections and then like go on to the next.
Mm, yeah. taking it slowly, right? But also observing the hand position and the notes. Like where are we going? If you're going from here to here, how does that feel? What are the notes exactly that are changing? And the hand shape as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as it progresses, it gets slightly bigger from 2 note to a 3 note and then a triad, for example. Yeah. Cora, do you have some thoughts for Elena?
Um, I think that it could be like a little bit more articulated,
Okay.
and I think the dynamics are pretty good, and the rhythm was really good, and there's just a little bit of mistakes here and there, but I think it was pretty good overall.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think
You're welcome.
yeah, thanks for that, Cora. I mean there's a lot of good that's going on in the piece. Now it's just a matter of getting more security, right, Elena?
Yeah.
That's it, really. Just get more so do some memory work with it. Hand separate, mainly the left hand. I think your right hand, you've got the melody in your head, but it's just the different hand positions, the different chords that the left hand goes to. And then once you've figured out all of that technical work, then you can start working on the more interesting stuff, which is how you're going to shape these phrases, right?
Yeah.
As they ascend, as they come down, how much quieter can you get? When you crescendo, how much louder are you going to get, right? So you just want to draw out how the piece is going to unfold,
Yeah.
right? That's it. What are some other things that you want to work on with this piece, Elena?
Yeah, I want to work on adding more dynamic and maybe slowing it down until I have the right pace that I'm comfortable with.
Yep, I think so. Because once you get that right pace, the right pace is defined by a pace that you can bring out all these details, all your wishes for the piece. You can do it. That's the pace that you're looking for, right? So keep digging. This is good. Listen back to this recording though, for sure. Listen back so you can figure out the areas to tweak for next time. All right, great work. Thanks for sharing, Elena. Okay, we go on, and Miss Sophia. All right, go ahead and introduce yourself and your piece.
My name is Sophia Yan, and I'll be playing the Rondo Toccata.
By who?
Wait, I can't read.
Can you see from my screen?
No. Kavalevsky.
Kavalevsky, yeah.
Wait.
done, Miss Sophia. All right. How was that run through?
Bad.
Well, what was bad about it? Why don't you walk us through?
I kept forgetting parts.
Right. So how would you adjust your practice then so that you can make this more solid?
Memorize small sections first.
Yeah, I think it's memorizing more sections and just being really diligent with what you memorize
Yeah.
instead of sometimes I know with me, if my memory isn't strong, it's because my preparation has been quite scattered, you know? And there'll be some parts that are really strong and some parts where I can't do it. I haven't done enough reps. You know what I mean? I haven't done enough repetition of a particular section to get it into my fingers. So, how do you think you should tackle this so that you can have more security?
Like,
Like, give me a plan of attack. How would you do it?
since this piece is just really repetitive, just like pay attention to the patterns.
Yeah, pay attention to the patterns. All right. Well, let's go around the room. Let's see if we've got anything further than pay attention to the patterns. That's a good start. Elena, what advice do you have for Sophia on how to get really strong at this piece?
I think you could like overall I think it was like you did really really well, but I also feel like you should put some emotion into it.
Oh, that might help as well. Yeah. So a little bit of motion might trigger the correct notes or more confidence. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Okay, Cora, what are your thoughts on Sophia's performance?
I think that the articulation and dynamics are really good, but try to work on the notes a little bit more.
Okay. How can she work on the notes a little bit more? What's some advice you'll give her so she can feel more strong?
Perhaps slow down, backwards practice, stuff like that.
Yeah. So you could try that as well. Sophia, definitely, I think you know about the slowing down and know about the backwards practice. Uh, but I would also spend some time just analyzing how the notes are moving, right? Actually looking at them. Like, what's happening here? Okay, these are moving down by step and then it goes up. These are all moving down by step, and I also see that it's in unison with the right hand, the left hand. So you literally talk yourself through what's happening and then you play it. Yeah. That way you're more engaged with what's happening in the music and to build out the script. What did this performance reveal for you, Sophia, about what you need to do?
Um, how to practice it.
Yeah, I think so. I think, yeah, you already know how to practice it, but it's now put yourself a deadline, right? So over the next week, since we don't have any Oakliff, every time that you practice, all right, every time that you practice, sit down and go through one line at a time, being very clear about what's happening. Yeah. And then I would also balance this out with the Walson A minor that you're starting as well. See
Yes.
you? Yeah. Cool. Excellent. All right, team. Well, that's our class. Thank you so much for sharing and thank you for your advice as well. I think all three of you have really good thoughts on how to practice, how to critique one another, and ways to listen and improve your playing, which is really important because that's how you're going to continue climbing in this world of piano playing. Reminder, there is no school next week, all right? But we'll start up again from the 23rd. Have a great break. Thank you for sharing music, and we'll see you guys again soon, yeah?
Thank you, bye.
Thanks, Cora. Thanks, Elena. Thanks, Sophia.